Venomancer's biggest weakness as a hero is that it's very immobile. It's slow, it has to move around, or actually rather, it has to stay in place, because you need to build a house with Plague Wards, and Furon's all over the place. So he can split the map up. And so is Spearbreaker, yeah. This is a very aggressive approach from Secret, and I've been very impressed with Fatsa's play on Nature's Prophet, by the way. I think he's outstanding, so if he has a good game here, this is already looking very promising.
No, the only thing he's played more of is Puck in this particular patch. So
and he's one of the winningest Pucks all time too.
It's very good on Puck as well.
No, Nature's Prophet, one of the strengths of the hero in the pro game has always been you can build him so many different ways. You can play him as a team-oriented hero. You can play him as a scaling, farming core. And Fata is just, he's very adept at both playstyles. I really like that here.
So if you're looking at Newbee's heroes right now, the way I see it is that we're going to probably transition into a classic Newbee strategy that is very team-centric. They have the Venomancer that wants to group up. They have Rubik, who's a teamfight support. And Secret wants to play split. So it's going to be a clash of styles, almost guaranteed. Like, even if Secret now try to take it in a teamfight direction, Newbee's teamfight is likely to be superior. So I feel like Secret are looking for the type of hero that exactly this ban would have given them, the Ember Spirit.
Well, to play split. Suitable for both teams. Mid-1's most played hero in this current patch, and SCC's most played in this patch as well.
And he is the, yesterday Mid-1 became the most wins on Ember Spirit all time. He got his 43rd win on the hero, passing Ferrari 430.
Oh man, that's a name you haven't heard for a while.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I wanted to bring this stat up.
We haven't heard for far too long.
Yeah. I mean, and he also has, if you look at the dozen or so players with 20 or more appearances on Ember Spirit, he's got the top GPM, he's got the top win percentage. It's really sick. The Chaos Knight ban by Secret here is interesting. That's a hero that has gotten a lot of play recently. He's become one of the top win percentage players in the pro game since TI.
Possible indication of what direction Secret want to go. Sometimes there's just this hero in the second phase that you ban just in case, like safety. A lot of the times you'll see second pick teams banning Brood just so they don't get the Brood on pick 16 or on the 8th pick. And that is actually exactly coming out from Newbee right now. So they're securing themselves against that. But I think possibly this Chaos Knight ban hints a little bit at Secret considering Lifestealer. It's very strong in Fest partners, both Spirit Breaker and Nature's Prophet. It's a hero that has good matchups in both Veno and Rubik. Both are 100% magic based, and it's one of Ace's heroes. So, which they can, in addition, put on Mid-1. Mid-1 plays it too, so they have like a bit of flexibility. And I feel like Secret are thinking about that right now as an option. Alternatively, there's Weaver, who is great against Veno and bad against, or somewhat bad against Rubik. It's like, it's a bit of a tricky matchup, the Rubik one, because he can steal Shikuchi and he has an instant lift, but at the same time, if you get Scarabs off on Rubik in the backline, Rubik just dies. So that one goes both ways. And this is another ban against Lifesteal. I feel like it's a Lifesteal game for Secret.
It's interesting to me that Secret is leaving the Bloodseeker on the table, because that's a Venomancer Bloodseeker is a combo that Newbee really likes. You get everybody low with that Poison Nova, and the Bloodseeker is guaranteed to get that Thirst benefit in the team fight later on. Makes him more of a team fight hero than he otherwise would be, and it's just a combination that Newbee runs really well. The Mugi Bloodseeker, that hero just suits him so well with the tempo that he likes to play.
The thing for me when I look at Newbee is that I think they're weaker if they put SC on Veno. I think if they put Veno core, you put it on KP or you put it on Mugi. And mostly Mugi, I would say, is the better choice. The problem is the matchup this game is.
I like KP's Veno a lot better. And, okay, so the Earthshaker probably going to be a support in this kind of a Newbee matchup. Newbee leaving their 2 cores for last is something that they've done very, very often in their drafts.
It's also Kaka's most played in this
match
as well.
That was unexpected.
Hey, there's the Wisp.
Unusual for Secret.
Look at the mobility.
A page and a Liquid and EG.
So Yapzor can play this hero. I think Secret have kind of not picked this very much. It's not one of their absolute comfort picks, but it seems like they have a strategy prepared that they want to try here. Very global oriented, very split.
Are we like going back? Oh no. Are we going back to the SEA days in Mid-1 Tiny?
That's a possibility. Now
that would be awesome.
Now we might not see the Lifestealer anymore, because I don't like Lifestealer with these with the IO. If they would have picked another hero here, I still think it could have been really great. It's also a hero that matches up pretty well against Shaker in many ways. It's a double-sided matchup. Tiny would also make sense with Chaos Knight Sven bans. Those are 2 heroes that can kill him. And this is, again, first pick in a really good spot now, because Newbee have to be like, okay, we need to prepare for this next pick of Secret.
Yeah.
What do we think it is?
At this point, Newbee looks at this and says, okay, we need mobility. We need a hero that can get around the map, that can get around in these team fights, get to the back line, and put pressure on that Wisp with that natively low armor. I think Weaver was pretty much their best alternative at this point. The problem with that is that Secret is going to have been ready for that pick.
And they have a Spirit Breaker. It's, you know, when you... I like to have this philosophy when you look at drafting that sometimes there is no perfect pick, and then you can take the glass half empty approach or the glass half full approach. And I think this Weaver pick is like, some teams will be scared. They're like, yeah, this is Spirit Breaker. He has like 2 targeted stuns. It's annoying. But then if you look at the bigger picture, this Weaver is extremely good against IO, and that's kind of the hero that they want to counter. So you should Kuchi in the backline. You get the Swarm off. If the Swarm hits IO, it can't heal. It keeps getting interrupted in its healing of the core, and can just get killed off by the Weaver. Also good here against Furion. So I think you gotta look to your strengths rather than your weaknesses in this draft.
No, that's actually very well said. To me, I don't think Spirit Breaker is as scary against Weaver because Weaver has enough mobility that Spirit Breakers usually can have to charge over the fight to get to the Weaver, and you're going to have enough disables to knock him out of that charge. Even a Force Staff takes him out of that charge. The Leshrac for Secret, this is not something that we saw coming, but this Secret lineup now, in addition to the mobility, crazy push. What do you think of the lanes, though? What do you think of the lanes, though? Because we need to not lose sight of that. We mentioned that as the key factor for Secret and Newbee. I agree.
It totally depends how good they are at playing IO.
Okay.
This is a very delicate hero in the laning stage. I think only an expert will have a really good laning stage with this hero. I have a couple of heroes in Dota that are called like specialist heroes, where if you're not like extremely good on the hero, then a lot of the times it's not worth a pick. Other examples would be something like Meepo. Like you can be a good Meepo player, but is that going to win you a competitive match? Probably not. And I think of IO a bit in the same way, where you need to really love this hero and have played it a lot to really make it work against the best in the world. So I'm very curious to see if Yapzor has been putting in the hours, because to me he's not a stereotypical IO player whatsoever.
It's his 8th most played under this patch right now, but the majority of those have not been in competitive matches. So he has been playing it, has been practicing it, and obviously with a plan in mind.
How many officials have they played with that hero? It must have been like less than a handful.
I don't have that info in front of me, but it's not many.
Yeah. It can't be a lot. So obviously Newbee now with their advantage in the draft, they will have the 10th pick, so Secret have to show their full hand. And I like this point that Nahas brought up about the Spirit Breaker in this game, because you look at Secret's lineup, he's like their only really reliable catch, but he's running into 2 counters. Both the Rubik and the Shaker have cancels against the charge. And my concern for Secret is that they might have to pick a secondary way of catching. There it is, Vengeful Spirit. So they have the Nether Swap into charge, they have the Venge Stun. This gives Newbee some time to think, though, because Secret's lineup, in my mind, will not win this late game. I don't think so. I think it's a very momentum-based lineup that needs to peak around the 25-35 minute mark. So Newbee has 2 approaches. Either they try to fight them early on and just match, or they're like, we can turtle this one out, guys, and win it late. So we'll see what they think.
See, the Venge pick is a little bit puzzled. I didn't feel like they needed to go so all in on the mid game here. I thought.
Oh, the classic 10th pick Necrophos.
I don't know.
Wow, we didn't see that coming. That's completely outside the meta. No.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's really surprising that it went that far. Actually.
I feel like Secret might have gotten a little bit too cute with their last 2 picks.
I think they forgot about Necrophos. I actually think they forgot, because you generally don't get this far into the draft and this hero's untouched with no counters specifically being picked. There's no Necrophos counter picked by either side.
So is this is an SCC Necro?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think this last pick was
really good. Mugi's every day, surely.
Yes, Mugi is a great Weaver. Yeah. I'm Newbee on this one. I think this 10th Necro with a hood is going to be almost unkillable for Secret's lineup. I think it's really strong.
And 3 picks in, I was absolutely convinced that I was going to be explaining why Secret were going to win the game. But I think with those last 2 picks, Secret got a little bit too cute, a little bit too all-in-ish on the mid-game oriented push lineup, where Newbee have a very balanced lineup that they're comfortable playing. I like Newbee's chances. It's all going to boil down to the laning phase. If Secret comes out of the laning phase with a lead, they're going to be hard to stop.
Okay.
Avalanche game.
I didn't hear any predictions as such, though. Only just
Newbee.
What would happen. But I did get the impression that you were both coming. It wasn't that subtle as far as the.
We're not subtle guys.
No, not subtle guys. The predictions are in. It's a clean sweep here on the desk. It's Newbee all the way, according to our experts. But of course, this is a best of 3, so anything can happen. But game 1 is about to begin.
Newbee versus Secret, game 1. Get to start off day 2 with one hell of a matchup, and I'm looking forward to this one. Newbee with the wonderful 10-pick Necro up against Team Secret, who are pulling out the IO, switching up some of their roles as well. Merlini, how do you like the draft?
A lot of this just depends on YapzOr's Wisp. This is the second time I believe that we've seen him play it in recent times, and that's a tough hero. As Sin mentioned, you do want a specialist on this, so if he's a really, really good Wisp, this could go swimmingly well. If he's a really poor Wisp, we could just see him get picked off by the Weaver in most of the fights.
This does seem to be also, hello, they're going to come pretty close to each other in the mid. Just Spirit Breaker and SCCC showing each other. There's Secret do the whole long wraparound. But yeah, this is one of these times where it's a finesse hero for YapzOr and not just that brute force to kill style hero, which a Rubik can turn into. They're actually going to loop around both sides of Mugi.
30 seconds to battle.
It's kind of the worst target for them to go on as well. They needed that stun to connect. The charge came a little too late, so Magic Missile will not hit the Weaver. Okay, Puppy's going to follow through with this. Maybe not that far.
At least they get one ward down in the enemy jungle, but it was already revealed in the mid lane by SCC. The Necrophos here, I think it's a strong pick because there's no counters, but at the same time, he really is not mobile. So they're going to have to turtle and play around their towers. They don't really have that many aggressive maneuvers they can make, which I suppose is a pretty decent approach versus Secret. Secret's lineup has way more of a timeline than Newbee's, but how are some of these heroes going to get to the fight and actually help a lot? Necrophos and the Venomancer, you're playing against a Prophet and an IO, and a Spirit Breaker. These heroes can just beat around the map in a matter of seconds.
It's like a pseudo team global. That's the reason why you can be a lot more sustainable. Sin was saying how did they actually kill off SCCC if he gets himself a good start?
They just play around him.
Ensuring that with Kaka being in the neighborhood, maybe that's one way to do it. Kaka's going to try and harass mid one, but it's both supports waiting for their opportunity. Bottom lane, Fada going to be attacked in. Remember, he went for the trees to start, which was got no TP out of this one. KP and Faith going to work together. The mid lane's being initiated on in the meantime. SEC really low. It's the race for first blood, and Fada, he'll end up going down with the fissure, creating the space in mid, denying Team Secret not only just the revenge kill, but that first blood that they wanted.
Wow. Very nice position from the Fissure. I didn't actually think he'd be in that much trouble. So this is a very problematic lane for Mugi. He's not going to get that much CS, but at the same time, he should be okay in the survival department. They don't have any detection, I believe, on either of their heroes on the top lane. And on the bottom lane, yeah, he needs a TP at level 1. That's pretty much the only time you're going to die, I would say. You can just TP out. If they cancel it, you just cast your TP again. So
he said he went for boots and regeneration. Kaka's coming back to mid. He's going to block mid one in. There's more support on the way in the form of that Rubik. So they can hold mid one there a little bit longer if you want to run closer. But with Faith arriving, mid one just has to keep running. The charge is coming in from Puppy, looking towards Kaka. This is a long run to catch up to mid one, and now that Io's arrived, mid one can look to turn. The creep wave is still giving a lot of vision. The pickup from Faith will just toss Puppy away. But this is all going to really amount to nothing. 3 heroes dragged into the mid from both sides, but no kill's going to come from it.
They killed that Clarity. Clarity lives matter, Toby.
I'm sorry, this is like support kills. They matter too.
Well, that is really sad. That's like 2 fissures for him right there.
50 gold, you can get it back. You can save the money on TPs.
Yes. Probably Flaming Kaka or Flaming Faith. Why didn't you lift him up earlier? He would have gotten canceled if he had canceled the charge.
Well, that was meant to be the big thing about Rubik, right? Is that instant grab onto the Spirit Breaker. So there's multiple counters we talked about previously. Fada, now on the run. The Gale from KP's has connected. As Kaka, he'll trace him into the trees. Mid lane is initiating in. SCCC losing a lot of life. Faith, not enough mana to actually control up anymore. Use both Telekinesis as well as his Fate Bolt. The Team Secret just man-mode it down the mid, but 3 heroes still committed to do it.
Man, he was so close to level 4 on the Necrophos. Sad times for him. He was just like maybe 1 range creep away from getting level 4. He would have been okay with the Ghost Shroud. Still not level 4.
Oh, now he has it. So now the Ghost Shroud gets leveled up with a full magic wand and the Null Talisman. SEC's got a better chance of potentially surviving that gank.
So Secret still need to keep the pressure up, especially because the Prophet is having troubles on bottom lane, because the Rubik is able to go down there without really too much suffering in their other lanes. I would say SCC has died once, which is not great for them, but still they've kept Fada down. If you keep Fada down in lane, he can't TP to other lanes, and their whole early game just slows down to the point where Newbee will be very comfortable going into 20-30 minutes because Secret don't have that big of advantage. So I think Profit is one of the biggest keys in this early game.
Moogie's actually finding that space we're looking for, but how long until that Prophet can move off the lane when he's getting shut down?
Yeah, Newbee have kind of shifted everyone to like down one lane because they know the Weaver's not going to die, and they can actually get Weaver farm by pressuring the two other sides of the map. But SCCC...
Yep, being charged to the mid. Puppey and mid one wanting to combine up, realizing it's not worth it when Kaka's got that haste rune. He was already starting to harass up one, but doesn't get the body block off. He needed Puppey to be on the eastern side of that fissure, and he would have been in a rough position.
They interestingly did not even go for that. They could have lifted, I'd say Spirit Breaker maybe, but Spirit Breaker is kind of way too tanky, and then the Leshrac was already wisped up.
They needed that time to actually attack Puppey when he was locked on the other side of the fissure, and then the control time from telekinesis, so both needed to work. It doesn't happen at the end of the day.
There's also no stacks coming out from the IO. I see one on the very, very top side of the map, that large Dire camp, but there's not really anything else. This is where Moogie is right now. They have one stack right now. I mean, Lesh is really good at clearing out some of the other stacks, but I think IO also loses some value if you aren't able to have like a big stack farm, just because the hero is like really efficient about moving around the map, getting binding runes, healing everyone up, and stacking at the same time. So,
and how many times have we actually seen this movement coming in from Newbee that forces the rotation of Yapsol?
They're very ready for this mid lane though. They're like, I wouldn't say it's really overcommitting to like having 3 or 4 heroes in the mid lane just because of the threat of Spirit Breaker charge into Leshrac. You can't have your Necrophos have a bad game.
Oh, fissure block once again. Not actually holding Team Secret on the dire side of the fissure.
Slow is good though. You want a peaceful, quiet game. You know, you just want to chill and farm creeps if you're a newbie.
Well, I actually thought like if you're a newbie, you would have got more farm on this bottom lane. KP at 23 to 24 to 3 to get to the 35-15 of Fada. It's kind of like the Treants versus the Plague Lords who can farm up more of either.
Yeah, now he's, I think, tanky enough to the point where he can actually just TP out if a Rubik comes. So if they want to gank Fada, they would need at least 2 heroes. But, yeah, as we've seen, most heroes are in the mid lane.
KP's not even the heavy damager. Like he went for a 1-1-3 build instead. So Gale as well as Sting isn't really that threatening. As, well, okay, that seems a little easier when Wrath of Nature's able to kick through and find the damage onto the Venomancer. Newbee looking for their own rotation into one of the most farmed heroes on Team Secret. Ace on the top lane. He's up a long way, reveals himself, and SCCC can tank up the tower when they go for this initial movement. It's exactly what happens, and that's a level 6 as well. The Reaper side is prepared. They need the damage to come in. Puppey with the charge, creates some space. Fast going to arrive too. Mid one turning on that Nova. How much damage can he do? The Scythe will fall, but mid one will tank it through, and it's actually going to be Kaka, the first one to fall. Faith caught on the steps of the Cathedral. As Secret will move forward looking for another target, but Newbee are already bailing out this one. This did not work, and we saw that power of Team Secret to bring the numbers in very quickly.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem for Newbee. That was a 4-on-1, so they had at least 3-4 seconds of just 4-on-1 action, but couldn't burst down the Vengeful Spirit at all.
Let's have a quick look at it again. So, initiation stance, Newbee definitely wanted Ace, but Puppey creates such space.
But Kaka didn't fissure. Maybe he could have sticked earlier, and then it would have been a really tight timing to block the fissure or block the charge from Puppey. But possibly could have done it, I would say. But still, he was kind of hesitating as to where would be the best place to cast it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to trap himself in.
Well, at that point, you kind of got to sacrifice yourself. If Newbee was capable of winning that fight, but you definitely see that early power that can come from the Leshrac. And the fact they're all able to survive, they shrine up efficiently, move straight back into the lanes.
I love Leshrac. The hero's great.
Whatever, like, he dropped off. Why did he drop off, in your mind?
I don't know. He just seemed like he didn't do well versus some of the meta heroes, just as with many other heroes that fall off. I don't know. He didn't really get nerfed that hard. He did get that huge nerf after TI6, but after that, kind of just not that many heroes were
Is it like that indirect effect? Like the other heroes are just better choices than what he was going to offer?
Generally, yeah.
Oh.
Other heroes are way better versus BKB too. I think it's a big issue if your mid hero can't do crap versus BKB.
So you wait to see all the anti-mages coming back again as Team Secret try and bring Leshrac back into the meta. Kaka looking for the fissure, able to connect over on Ace, charge forward again, Puppey the right place, wheeling back KP and Faith with that charge forward, but Mugi into the fight. They're bringing in that Weaver, but Wrath of Nature. Kaka has to be sacrificed once again. Fada's here. Everybody is here apart from Leshrac, so Mugi goes for something he can kill, and that's going to be a courier. The Gemnet attack will allow him to get it, or actually will it? No, that courier ended up surviving. It backed all the way out as KP died once more.
Wow, I thought he had a Geminate on it.
Yeah, there was the 2 attacks flying through the air.
Not sure what happened.
Yeah, neither am I. I don't know if we can get replays on stuff that we didn't see on the screen. Either way, Courier manages to survive somehow.
Newbee are playing very aggressively, which you wouldn't actually expect from their sort of lineup. I think they need to actually just chill out a little bit. Yeah,
so there's the first attack, and then the Gemini attack flies right behind. Does it miss? Oh, well, that happened.
They need a player, I would say, around the Venomancer a little bit more, because they're going to be trying to kill him a lot, because I would say he's generally a pretty easy kill. Like, Necrophos can stay alive long enough, but like if they're not swift enough to defend the Veno, they're not going to get... Like, one of Veno's greatest strengths is, like, if you try and kill him, he's going to do a lot of damage to you, but if you're not actually there at the exact moment that they go on the... Oh no.
Mid one. Kaka, the charge is coming in as well, plus the relocate.
If you're not there at the exact moment that you go on the Venomancer, then you're just going to heal up from the IO. So, yeah, Secret, this first couple minutes, not terribly smooth from them, but Newbee weren't able to make anything happen with the Shaker and the Rubik duo.
They certainly get a lot done with this combination, Team Secret. Like, a lot of it, we were saying, like Sin said it perfectly, you don't see them winning this late game with what they've got.
Well,
so
the Wisp is in the right
doing
place
damage
at the right time, and so has the Spirit Breaker. So their supports have just been playing much, much better and making things happen around the map.
So when you beg the other question, like, is this the hero pickup just... Is it comfortable for Newbee, or is it just they're denying it to Team Secret by picking up that Rubik early on?
That's what you mentioned.
So you can play it, but is it what you're really good at? Right now, this Team Secret draft just seems to synergize perfectly, and Newbee, they haven't had a great answer to it just yet.
Maybe like a Hood Necrophos will help them out, but Necrophos actually went for a different build. He's going phase into 4-staff on Necrophos.
That fissure, there wasn't enough commitment from Newbee. They couldn't catch him up. The Leshrac was just moving too fast. He backed out mid one just at the right time.
I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble because Necrophos isn't going to be tanky enough. Ghost Shroud is usually pretty good, but Lesh, the good thing about Lesh this game is he doesn't actually need a Diffusal Blade to deal with the Necrophos. Most cores need a Diffusal to deal with Necrophos because you just don't have enough magic damage output, but Leshrac, I think he would actually love if Necrophos went into Ghost Shroud this game, especially with no alternative source of heal from his teammates.
Well, they're TPing IO in towards the mid, so it looks like they might finally put enough pressure to bring down the Tier 1 tower. At the same time, Newbee, Faith and Kaka forever holding hands, roaming around. But there's still no level 6 on Faith. You still don't have that ability to steal, while players like Fada, not a bad record for him, and it's quick movement into that Orchid on the Nature's Prophet. But do you actually think he's meant to be disabling out of all the choices? Is it just to stop the Venomancer from getting that big dot damage?
It's one of the best items versus Necrophos too, because Necrophoses don't build for BKB.
Ooh, swap. Charge in, and this is a very quick kill on Kaka. They're even having Wrath of Nature bouncing across the map.
Yeah, so things are going pretty smoothly for Secret. They just need to make sure to continue to take down T1s and T2s so they can keep their farm up. So going into the later game, they're going to need, like going into 30 minutes, right now I would say they need like, 10,000 net worth lead at the minimum to be able to feel okay going 40-50 plus. But at this pace, they should feel very comfortable. And they can do Roche very easily with their lineup too. That's one of the reasons I do really like the core bench pick. It's so good at taking down Roche.
Again, Newbee, this visual will be able to connect. Faith is not in range for his telekinesis. Maybe if SDCC threw out the Scythe, but they needed the Scythe to find the kill, so it was a hard point for decision making. And they dragged Mugi off that top lane, allowing Fada to now add more pressure to the Tier 2.
He doesn't have that much HP. He has like 1100 HP on the Leshrac, but Leshrac's actually an extremely fast hero, and he also went for the movement speed talent at level 10. They're probably like, why is this damn horse so fast?
And he's not a horse, he's a unicorn.
I don't know what he is, actually. Or Slacks for lore when you need him.
Yeah, we need Slacks for that stuff. He looks like a cross. Like, maybe he's a distant cousin of Centaur, or like, Centaur?
Kind of. I'm not sure.
It's like a pony and a centaur got together and made Leshrac.
Yeah, I guess you could just call him Disco Pony.
Disco Pony. I'm down. Yeah, Disco Pony. That's it. That's his taunt. So mid-tower is finally brought down. Only took Secret 4 attempts to do it, but they kept forcing rotations out from Newbee every time, and now it's Secret's turn to rotate. They know the Shikuchi from Mugi's going back. Puppey lost sight of him for a second. Mugi just slipping up into the trees, breaking the vision line of Puppey.
So how do Newbee get back in this game?
Normally we would turn and say, oh, you're going to farm up with an empowered up Juggernaut. Oh, wait, no, that was Team Secret. Or some kind of, like, good farmer. But you don't even have, like, great ancient clearance with the Weaver. There seems to be kills is the only way. Venomancer can sit in the, like in the triangle camp and just farm that on Dire side so you can catch up that way.
But how do they actually catch people out? There's no Blink Dagger on Shaker. They're smoking, but...
It's fissure to telekinesis is going to be it.
So underwhelming.
They're going to find Puppey, Ace, and mid one. Everything they did not want to find. The fissure cancelling the charge through. Puppey on the wrong side of that fissure again. And Mugi wants to attack through the front. Has a time lapse out, realizing just how much damage that pulse plus edict of mid one does. SCCC trapped up inside of the Sprout. Fada in the back line as Mugi's playing with him as Puppey just wants to go in deep. KP forced to ulti. He's ticking down at the moment to all the trees that's there with a bouncing Fadebot. Mugi Shikuchiing through Yapsaw. They finally get rid of that mass sustain and they steal the extra stun. Magic Missile into Ace. The Scythe will execute him. Exactly what Newbee want. Team Secret, they thought they had the pound for the fight, but they thought wrong.
Damn, that was a great fissure. I think he had 2 really good fissures in that fight from Kaka. But they smoked to the exact right place where they had vision. It was kind of really awkward because Secret weren't expecting that gank in that position, but they didn't actually expect Newbee to have an observer ward placed there beforehand. So they finally eliminate the Wisp early on the fight. I think Mugi did the majority of the damage to the Wisp. And right now, Secret just have to protect the Wisp a lot better, but they don't have like that great of like instant disables to prevent them from zerging down. Because Mugi's, he would gladly trade time lapse to get Wisp down to a health where he can't tether into the fight.
When he has that Diffusal Blade as well, life is going to be easier for him to get that attack.
Yeah, they might need like swaps out or something like that in order to save him, but
that's not the way you want to play it, right? Like the VS is meant to be swapping in to initiate. Because the Spirit Breaker can't be guaranteed to get through any further. Like the fact like this is probably the first fight in a while where Puppey's charge hasn't knocked back 2 heroes.
Yeah, they can easily just wait for the Orchid though. Nature's Prophet, 700 gold, so he's going to have it in less than a minute. And then after that, they can just kill the Weaver. Because the Weaver went Diffusal first, so there's no way for him to get out of the Orchid for a very long time. Was it going to get BKB, Lincoln's not reliable versus NP, or what, Manta, Lotus, Yules, these are all pretty terrible items on him, so I don't actually know. I guess he's going to have to get PKV.
On the Weaver?
Probably. It's a really early Orchid. You charge him, you teleport in, you Orchid him, he's dead. And he can't even farm outside the map, too, so I think he's going to have to go... I mean, Lincoln's is really good for Spirit Breaker, so either or.
Yeah, well, the amount of stuns which come after that is pretty minimal from Team Secret, and isn't that kind of what you build for anyway?
You're going to just get hit by, like, random stuff, though. Lightning Storm, like, NP Ultimate.
But you have to soak something up. Right now, Team Secret, they're doing what you were talking about, going in for Roshan. They already have the Observer Ward on top of the Dire Shrines. They're very well aware of... Well, actually, no, they're not. They're aware of SEC moving over, but everyone else under the cover of smoke. So the Observer Ward not seeing enough. Mugi will reveal himself. But Team Secret back out for the moment. Fada adding pressure to the bottom lane just to get Newbee to try and react or put some time pressure on them to do something.
Yeah, there should be a free tower for him. I'm not really sure why Fada's not pressuring. They did see him smoke right directly under the shrine.
Yeah, and they're still sitting underneath the observer ward. All right, now Fada's actually pressuring. Takes out the tower with 3 hits.
Yeah, just waiting for one hero TP in, but maybe they're going to have to walk over here if they actually want to be able to. Oh, that's a good rune.
Maybe they let Fada take the tower, so Kaka, Invis, Echo Slam to start with, Tome to follow up, still has the fissure control and the scythe. Goodbye, Fada. You get the tower, but you also get 70 seconds on the sideline.
Man, Kaka's been so fortunate in the last couple minutes. He was at 200 gold in that before that first smoke on top. But those 2 great fissures and a fortuitous Invis rune. That's 2/3 of his Blink Dagger right there.
Oh, they're back into Roshan. Now Team Secret, Echo Slam and Scythe are both down. Prophet can buy back if they want to take the fight. The charge forward goes towards Mugi. KP. Now this is throwing a spanner in the works from Team Secret with the Plague Lords going down. A nice double fissure. Ends up actually stealing the pulse. They want to get closer, but relocate. Just pulling Ace back out to safety, so relocate falls. And Newbee, are they actually going to try and do this? It's a dangerous choice, but they're going in after Roshan. Team Secret seeing a lot as Puppey charges forward, pushing back too. The Nova is nice from KP, but is the Nova better from Leshrac? No, it's not. Newbee will survive. Fada brought back into the fight with that silence. He's going to end up killing off that Rubik Faith. He'll actually end up ticking from Puppey being right behind him as well, as Newbee losing way too many heroes. It's all up to SCCC, who's 4-staffed himself back up to the high ground.
But he got Roche.
He
and
did.
Aegis. That is sick.
I can't believe they actually completed that with all of the stuns coming in from Team Secret. That's a fight I'd love to see again.
Wow, that was such a bold play from Newbee. They saw Roche at like 25%, then they went in. And they got a buyback out of Nature's Prophet too. Wow. I actually can't believe that turned out so well for Newbee.
Now, you see SEC's net worth because of that. Like, the top 3 belonged to Team Secret for so long. Now he's sitting up just shy of the Leshrac, who's down to 8 Bloodstone charges as well.
That was a really hectic fight. Like, I think Newbee were trying to, like, maybe cut them off with the fissure, because they don't actually have a good way to get across the fissure.
After Roshan, Team Secret seeing a lot as Puppey charges
Me
forward,
again.
pushing back too. The Nova is nice from KP, but it's a Nova... It's not me again. Still, great fight. Maybe we can have a look at that later. But for now, regathering yourself in the lanes. The pressure on top lane, this time it's not being applied by Fada though. Like, it's being applied by Leshrac. You're pushing mid 1 up there to do it, as Fada a lot more cautious on the map.
He's going to have to be way more cautious once Earthshaker gets his Blink Dagger. After this creep wave, he should get it. But he could potentially die if he's not careful.
You've actually got really good ways to get in and out now. Even like that 4-stuff on the Necro. Like, you got the hood, you got the plate mail, so he's already pretty tanky on that front, both armor as well as the resistance. But having 4-stuff gets you easily out of the sprout, gets you away from the damage which is coming in, but also potentially can push in the ES for that better initiation. And now you get a Venomance with 4-stuff. They can start kiting.
Yeah, they're going to have a really hard time, like, actually just catching him out. A lot of their abilities are... They have so much single target. The only one who does a massive amount of AoE is Leshrac, but he needs someone to set up the stun for him.
Well, they're coming in. Puppey starts his charge forward, going towards SCCC. Faith needs a grab nice and quick. He doesn't have it, however. It's the chain stun, but the Necro, he just shrugs it off like it's nothing. Kaka's in the tree line, moving up, but that Blink Dagger's available. He jumps out of the trees. And Team Secret, they haven't got nothing, and actually it's Newbee who can start turning this one around. Mugi, look for that swarm, look for the attack. KP's moving over as well. They got the Orchid over on the Necro, but now that won't really do anything. There's no follow-up to the silence. All the amplification, and as Puppey, he's caught on the wrong side of the tracks, diffused up, completely bone dry in the mana, and executed for good measure. Secret know this is nothing now. They back out, Fada pressures bottom lane to attack the tier 2 tower, and KP's already TPing down here to defend that.
So because Newbee have been playing so well as a ball of 5, I think Secret just have to tackle this way differently than they were. They did very well in the first 10 minutes, I would say, splitting Newbee's resources up. Their supports constantly had their eyes on mid lane, whereas they actually threw a majority of the pressure on the bottom lane. But now that Newbee are kind of just sitting together, T1s, they don't really care if they're around in that area. Then they're just looking to fight as 5. And Secret, they have to utilize the mobility a lot better. And it's really just up to Fada, I would say. Like, Fada is the one that needs to be able to take down towers for free. He needs to be able to dodge the ganks when they go around, and he needs to be the one to split them up right now, because right now I don't really think he's putting enough pressure on the T2s and split push threat in order for Newbee to react. Like, well, that's counter to 5-man, right? You split them up in front of the map, and he's the one that's supposed to do so. Maybe Leshrac too. I think Leshrac can go out and then get relocated out at the last second, but that's a riskier play that you would do if you're more comfortable with that. But I'm not sure if they think they can get out alive.
Well, right now, Team Secret are actually struggling with that problem of how do we kill off SCCC. Like, Newbee are going to keep doing what they just did. They put SCC on the front lines, and you want to initiate, you charge forward, you soak up 2 abilities, but then you can force staff away, you can fissure block them out, and then, okay, that game doesn't work, Team Secret look to force something else, but they're scanning at the moment, but just a fraction of a second too late. Newbee is rotating down. Okay, they'll reveal themselves by coming behind the tower.
That's fine, as long as they don't lose Fada. Losing Spirit Breaker is okay, even if he gets Reapered.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, there's Fada doing his job.
Yep.
Attack the tier 2 tower, force them to come back, even sprouting to check the tree line. And that Sada is really pumping the legs.
Radiant's bottom
Didn't realize that runs so fast.
He has Helmet Dominator.
Yeah, it's just... That's a
He
sprinter, right?
he went for a way less farm-oriented build too. This is a way more teamfight build with the Helm into the Lance. You'll see...
Oh, Newbee have to come back. Mid one's ready to attack, so KP just trying to force the lane. Probably not expecting Team Secret to defend in such a manner. And now it's up to Newbee to try and get that catch out up on the top. So Fada will be it. The relocate is pulling in mid one, but the scythe is already killed off Fada, down for a very long time. You've stolen the edict once again, so Yapstor low on life, 4 seconds before he'll be out of this one. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and he's out. But the damage is still there from Secret. Like, you lose Yapstor, but SCC, the 4-staff, it gets him away from the follow-up stun. He has to Ghost Shroud. 1, he's got his Death Pulse back up again. 2, needing to survive as he's so close to having that Radiance up and running, but now is the Rubik Faith being initiated on. He's got to pick up Puppey, toss him away, but the top pressure is still on. They're coming in, they take the tier 3 tower, and Team Secret, they've opened up a window as they push the top lane.
So this was a very classic maneuver. You see the NP top, and then because of that, they have to react to that, and then they gank bottom, but then Secret make the next level move of relocating top to assist them in droves, and that was a very easy T3 from them. Mugi died at the start of the fight. Kaka did not do a great job of protecting him until he could get his time-lapse off.
So while we're in that replay, top melee racks did fall, and Ace actually got sniped. So they did sacrifice that for the melee racks,
Dire's bottom tower is under
but Team
attack.
Secret's still up that one racks.
To the impurities.
Pretty happy with that. KP was just not really that great in position too. I guess he like kind of baited them to go on bottom, but again, you don't really want to be split up versus a Wisp lineup. You're going to throw away your life for minimal gains versus the relocate.
Because Team Secret can always just bring in the numbers. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
They have a large upside in the fight too. With the Glimmer Cape on Puppey, if they block the Reaper Scythe, then the fight should go pretty easily for them. Because right now he gets a Reaper Scythe kill and then he's kind of unkillable for the next 5-10 seconds of the fight.
Yep.
So blocking that is going to be so key, especially if one of your teammates get
Oh, Kaka able to get that initial stun, then blinks down, out, and the Scythe will find the kill, so Puppey will fall. They're looking for a secondary one. Hitting the Gale into Ace means there's a good follow-up. He'll swap back up for the relocate. He brought himself in range of the IO. So Newbee get denied the one position they wanted to kill off. Fada said a creep skipper, so this push from Newbee will be difficult to sustain. In fact, impossible. They don't have a creep wave.
Bottom tower is under
They will get the IO, but they still don't have the creep wave, so they can't push the tower. That's why Fada already down the bottom with the trees attacking into the tier 2. And Mugi can choose if he wants to deny or not.
Yep, he has to go BKB next, or get too much trouble and too much magic damage coming out from Lesh.
Is Fada just going to snipe the tower? Is he sniping the... Yeah, they're coming into bottom. BT forward, there's your Orchid. Follow-up stun, should be able to control up Mugi. And Kaka, he looks at it. But all he does is look. That's a death voyeur right there.
Yeah, he needs way more farm than this Weaver. Struggling a lot. That's the thing, though. Like versus the early Orchid that won Nature's Prophet, there's just not really that many things you can do. Just have to play safe, maybe bait out with Kaka sitting behind you.
So how long does this continue to work for Team Secret? Like the panel were talking about just how early game orientated Team Secret is. Where is that clock? And like,
it's fine. They took a rack around 25 minutes, and it was a melee rack at that. So you're okay with this. You're still gonna continue to scale. They had a little bit of a hiccup in the mid game, but.
So maybe the question I should phrase differently. Like, what's the timing target of Newbee where they feel like they're strong enough to keep delaying the game to win late? Like, is it that BKB and Weaver actually having an influence?
Is when Weaver can be big enough in the fights where he can kill the Wisp and no one can really touch him because they don't have any solutions to the BKB. But right now, I don't like even if he BKBs, he might not have damage. They have double glimmers. They have Sprout, which is actually a very large problem for Weaver, despite having BKB. He doesn't have any way to get out of it right now.
Yeah, we rely on the force staffs of either Necro or his supports.
Yeah, but do you really want to force staff your...
Force staff a Weaver?
Yeah, I don't really
think it's better than time-lapsing it out. What's he going to do? Go old school?
Well, he just wants to kill him. I think you just sit there. But
go 2008 build. Get Battle Fury on Weaver.
Disgusting. The Pike build's pretty good. I like the Pike build a lot because you can... Like, you have the vision from the Swarm. That's one of the biggest problems with Pike is you don't have any vision to get those extra attacks in. But with Track, Amplify, Swarm, these types of skills are really, really good at connecting, at killing supports without really expending that many of your resources. So now BKB is coming out pretty good, considering they always kill Fada. Try and kill Fada.
Roshan timing. No one broke the smoke earlier, so no Observer would scab this out. Prophet's going to TP inside the pit too. Yapsol pops out for a second, but... Okay, it looks like Newbee is working something out, but they're so quick with killing off Roshan. Observers and Sentry sees the Venomancer moving over, but KP's way too late in Fada. He actually BKBs to walk in close, looking for his initial target, so they've already killed off Roshan. They get even an Arcane Rune into the hands of the Leshrac.
That's a pretty sick play. Just BKB and walk in. Like, what is an Earthshaker going to do once you see that? You can't do anything. If you blink past them, the chances of you whiffing are just extremely high. And then if your smoke pops and you wait out the BKB, you lose Roche. So it's a win-win for Fada.
Not many times you'd say like a 10-second BKB that doesn't result in a fight is worth triggering.
Their lineup's pretty fragile / sensitive, right? So you don't really want a fight to go catastrophically. If there's, a 5% chance of it going catastrophically and 0% chance if he just BKBs and walks out like that, you take that. If you're Secret, you're in a pretty good position now. Just need to use this Aegis to get a Rax and you'll be fine.
The Observer saw a lot. Face right behind him. A quick Orchid. They forced up, but the Sprout from Fada was after the forced up was done. So the pickup and throwback from Faith, he makes himself target number one. The Wrath of Nature hitting hard into SECC. He's forced to go Shroud. The stun from mid one. He's coming in close. The Amplification's doing his work. The Echo Slam, minimal effectiveness, but at least the stun will do it. Fada locked down and brought down Kaka. He can't survive for this, however. Mid one is just so big. With its own BKB, he's able to do so much damage. Yapsol will be the sacrificial lamb as Mugi finds himself a double kill out of this fight. But man, they need to respect mid one. He just stood there and dealt it.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty surprised that Necros went for this Radiance build without the hood. It's really tough fighting this lineup without a hood. And they don't have any diffusals, so like hood plus Ghost Shroud should make you very, very tanky in the fights. But he's just not that tanky. Yeah. But at the same time, he does realize that Mugi's very underfarmed and he has to build the BKB second item. So he's like, okay, well, where is that damage going to come from? But you don't really want like long sustained damage though. That's the thing I don't like about the Radiance this game. Is like you're versus an IO. He is going to be able to out-heal this, like, small ticks of damage coming out from Venomancer and Necrophos. Yep. So you want, like, huge amounts of burst. Like, just Diffusal, kill the Wisp. You want, like, Veil into whatever burst you have, and then you want a Reaper. Like, fights that last longer than 5-10 seconds are not good for Newbee.
Well, that'll be easier for Newbee once Mugi has more damage. Like, he's queuing up the Desolator at the moment, and then he can focus on killing off the IO. Then that fight could happen. But with the way the fights are unfolding, Mugi's getting controlled up by Fada, and then he can regather his position and then look for Yapsor on the back lines, because he is the only one that can really reach the back line. I don't know if you can really commit a Blink Echo Slam to kill off the IO.
Maybe a Fissure.
Yeah, but like he's then the only one Mugi's that can reach the back line. without sacrificing a huge amount.
I mean, Io's farmed. You can tell Yapzor plays these farming supports a lot. And it kind of translates to his Io play, having Greaves already. That's a little absurd that he has Greaves. So now that he has Greaves, he can just Greaves out of the Diffusal Purge.
Oh, nice swap. Very quick onto the ES. You do actually steal the Nether swap into Faith, so they have that as initiation now, but no ES at 44 seconds.
They don't
and
really
his Echo
fight.
just came off cooldown too.
This is not great for them. They don't want to fight because Necrophos doesn't have buyback, nor does he have BKB, but Secret are going to force the issue.
Oh, mid one tries to go up. Heavy damage into the tower. There's no swap from Faith. As you said, they're not going to try and force that engagement, but Fada, he had the Treant in through the top, but now is looking to pressure in the bottom lane. And he's down there with Ace. In fact, that's exactly what Secret are doing. They're playing musical lanes at the moment. Just bounce from one to the other and then see which one you can land on before the music stops. The music is going to stop right now for the poor little Rubik, or maybe not. He glimmers and pushes himself out. The Scythe, it doesn't kill off mid one. KP, finally the Nova will be able to have a bit of an effect, but Ace swaps him straight back into his own death. It is a clusterfuck inside the base of Newbee. Fada wants to run away. He is gunked up, hidden inside the Sprout. The charge from Puppy creates just enough space for him to TP out and regenerate back in his own shrine. This is exactly what Secret want. They still haven't lost anything big. Puppy in the trees is an acceptable loss. Echo Slam a little bit further forward. They find their initiation, but the damage, it was more control, allowing Newbee now to move back to the front lines and give more space for Moogie to do some damage. The pick up and throwback is there from Faith. Mid one, however, he turns on the pulse once more. That spill damage with the Orchid. Moogie can't get out. Trapped in the trees with no push available. SC wants more, and he needs more. That death pulse, the damage. Fada cannot be allowed to escape a second time. He can buy back if he wants to. As SCCC, he is just outnumbered. Fada's coming back. The Ghost Ride's letting him live as the Absol taunts him in the tree line. Newbee, they will lose everything. The second time Necro has died, Moogie as well as Faith will have to buy back. They know if they lose this lane of Rax, they're crippled beyond repair.
And with this game, you can safely conclude that Yapzor can play Wisp well.
That's decent enough. Someone push KP out of there. Okay, Glimmer Cape. They'll hide him with that, but then the charge is coming from Puppy. They see him perfectly. Faith have to pick him up and throw him back down again. Fada, the BKB protects him. They still want KP. They want these cores down. Moogie, he can't even bring in the damage. Faith trying to escape, able to do so. Glimmer Cape protected back to his own fountain, but they call it. Newbee realized that resistance is futile. Team Secret will take game one in this best of 3 series.
That long, drawn-out fight, there was a ton of great individual play. The obvious one was Spirit Breaker save.